let's discuss some techniques to optimize Rails in general. So first thing we want to do is, if we can't make anything faster, caching it would be a great alternative. Things like complex views and external API calls can greatly benefit from caching, especially if the data is not changing too frequently. Core things we need to know about caching is like key names and the expiry. Let's see how these two things go hand in hand to create an effective caching strategy. So in this particular example, if you look at the first set of code, which is caching indefinitely, for example, in this particular application, it is caching plan names, which aren't really going to change much, indefinitely caching them, and using cache to fetch them only. So this type of caching will stay indefinitely in the system, or until the key is evicted by the backend. In the second block of code on your screen, we are creating like a context-aware caching where the key changes the based on the given blog ID, and it stores blog post JSON. In the third example, we are adding an expiry. So that means the global comment count will expire every 5 minutes, resulting in the new value that will give us like more appropriate counter value. So keep these things in mind when you write caching strategy for your application. You don't want to consume memory by keeping things indefinitely in your database. But what about the things you can't really cache? I would say throttle them. Any expensive operation that can't be cached should be throttled. Things like delivering emails, sending webhooks, and logging in. Just simple logging in can be abused by users, so these should be throttled. Um, as Rails does not really have default throttling mechanism as of now, these gems can be used to implement rack-based throttling. Rack-based throttling is quite popular because it allows you to throttle bad requests before they hit your Rails app. But based on your needs, you can implement throttling way down the stack as well. I will show you an example where we are throttling sign-in requests from same IP if there are like more than 10 requests in 15 minutes time span. So this code is actually limiting the number of sign-in requests by a single IP to 10 within 15 minutes. So this is how you should use throttling for expensive operations in your applications. So that the resources don't get abused. The other thing that we can do is use background jobs. Um, Whenever you have some tasks, expensive tasks that can be long running tasks or that needs a lot of processing, like exporting data, maybe processing a payment, or maybe activating a subscription, um, background jobs are really great for that. Because in a request response model, keeping things snappy for a user is very important. So we should always do long running and complicated tasks in a background job. You can use whatever you like Redis baked backends like Sidekick or Rescue to implement backend jobs, but keep in mind these can really improve the experience of user. So the next thing that we should look at is reduce dependencies. In Rails, there are a lot of great libraries that you can use in your project. There is a huge open source community, but as a project grows and matures, dependencies often turns into liabilities. Every dependency actually adds more code into your project that can lead to slower boot times and increased memory usage. So try reducing those dependencies as much as possible. Use only those gems that you know are fast and that don't does not add any excessive code in your application. Next, I would like to say a framework is as fast as the language used to write it. Rails is written in Ruby, so let's zoom out a bit more and discuss some tips to optimize Ruby performance itself.